What's happening, YouTube? It's Simon 466 Cards, and today we're going to talk about something a little bit different. Normally, I'm here talking to you about sports cards, usually basketball cards, but today I want to talk about pop culture cards. And specifically, I want to talk about Saturday Night Live. I want Fanatics to reach a deal with Lorne Michaels to create a Saturday Night Live card set. And I think this will bring a lot of mainstream attention to this set, and as a result, card collecting, and bring card collecting to the mainstream. And I'm going to explain why I think this would work and accomplish that goal. First of all, the show has been around since 1975, which is nearly 50 years at this point. There's so much history, right? Whether you're in your 60s or 70s, or whether you're a teenager in your 20s and 30s, there's probably a skit or a person, a character, a musical performance that appeals to you, and that you as a result, you have this connection with the show. And so if you release a set involving that history, you're likely to bring someone in who says, oh, I want to collect this one card because I love this character or this person or whatever, right? And so that history, that appeal to multiple generations is why I think an SNL set would really launch pop culture cards into another level, as opposed to other shows or things like that are really defined by a specific generation or by a specific set of years. Like, for example, Seinfeld was only around for 10 years, right? So it will only appeal to that generation, whereas SNL been around for forever, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is, with that history comes a lot of cast members and a lot of people who became stars, whether we're talking about Eddie Murphy or we're talking about Will Ferrell or everybody in between. Again, there's such a range of cast members, Chris Rock, Adam Sandler, there's all these different people, Tina Fey, that are part of this show, and that just means there's more ways and more people to latch onto if we launch this set, right? So that's kind of the second point. And we talk about people who became stars. There's also the A-list stars that come on to guest host the show, and that can span the gamut of acting to music to sports. It's, again, such diverse people who were guest hosts, and if you create cards of those people, you're likely to get some attention on the hobby through this set. And so this, again, gets you into a variety of different niches and subcultures. The other thing is so many different musical performances, and many of them iconic. And if you want to appeal to really strong fan bases, there's nothing like fans of music and musicians specifically, right? If you want to get a card of Nirvana, for example, if you're able to get those rights, like, that is something that you could do through this SNL set. And so I think that would also appeal to different niches across society. And the next one is obviously so many hilarious characters. I won't get into them all. We'll actually talk about them in a second. But no matter who you are, if you watch SNL for at least a couple of episodes, chances are there are at least one character that you really just gravitate towards because you find them hilarious. And so we're going to go through this also in a second, like I mentioned, but there's so many different dimensions of the show that appeal to people. And the last one is, they're just unforgettable moments because this show is live. And so things happen when you're live. And as a result, that has created a bunch of moments that you won't get from other shows because those are, narrowed down and edited and reshot. Whereas this one, if someone flubs a line or breaks out laughing, it's part of the show. So those are the main reasons why I think an SNL set would appeal to a bunch of people outside the hobby and bring them into the hobby. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that there actually was a set from 1992. It was a really simple set, 150 base cards. You could see what it looks like, obviously from the early 90s. There's nothing special about the look and feel of these cards. So I think if we were to create a set that had parallels, inserts in, a chrome finish, people love shiny cards, that would create a lot of appeal to overall society, the mass market, right? It's not just a little niche thing that we're doing. And I think if you create some 101s or some golds out of 10 for some of these cards, that would also be interesting. They also did have some autographs. You can see it's a very limited list here, but on-card autos for some of these cards would also be a great idea. Now the question is, okay, if we want to update the SNL set from the 1992 set, what would it look like? How would you do it? Well, that's the question I'm going to answer for you. The first thing is, I mentioned earlier, we're almost at 50 years of history. So what you do is you create this set and you launch it to coincide with the 50th anniversary in October of 2025, and you call it the 50th anniversary Saturday Night Live tribute set. So with the 50th anniversary, there is going to be a ton of attention, a ton of media, a ton of articles written, a ton of interviews focusing on, oh my God, it's been 50 years for SNL. Can you believe it? And so if you create a card set that coincides with that attention, you're going to maximize the amount of attention on the cards as well as the 50th anniversary, and you kind of get looped into that. And that's how you get just more attention than you normally would if you had released it in 2024 or 2026. You call it the 50th anniversary SNL tribute set. So that's the first thing. And I think that's the most important thing, is to time it so that maximum eyeballs are on the set because of the 50th anniversary. Now, what do the cards look like? That is what I'm going to show you. I am by no means a designer, or I don't have any background in that, but I just had a lot of fun with this, and I actually put this on my Instagram a couple of years ago. So some of this might be new to you. Some of you, if you've been following me on Instagram at Simon466cards, you might have seen this a couple years back, but I had a lot of fun putting these together. So here's what the cards might look like if Simon was designing them. First of all, the base set. You have cast members, and there are so many different cast members. I've included just a handful here of people who have been known from the show, and front and first and foremost, Eddie Murphy is an iconic person from the show. So you could create probably 100, 150 cards just from cast members alone, and you could see what this would look like. Secondly, famous characters. There are so many, just like I won't do the impression, but the Sean Connery impression of making fun of Trebek is something I don't think I'll ever forget. And if there is a one-of-one of Stefan, a Black Prism or something, I want it. Like, just take all my money now. I want it. Because I think, for me anyways, Stefan is the funniest character to me. Mostly because some of the stuff he's reading as an actor, he doesn't know what's coming on screen. And so I laugh every time I watch him. What has your favorite SNL character been over the years? Let me know in the comments below. All right, so that's still part of the base set. Famous characters. And you can see here, there's so many that have existed. The church lady, you can see there. Next one, we talked about music before. Iconic music performances. This one I'm highlighting. If you have never seen it, just look on YouTube, Halsey, SNL, East Side. It's unbelievable, not because of the singing, but because of what she does during a 3-minute performance. It's unbelievable. Just go watch. But you can see there are so many different performances. You got Prince, Mariah Carey, Tina Turner, etc., etc. Again, I won't go into all of them, but you could create another set here with iconic music performances that have happened over, again, 50 years of music performances. That's kind of crazy to think about. So that's the music side of things. Next, we get another part of the base set. Weekend update anchors. I think you could create a lovely set here from all the weekend update anchors. Choose your favorite over the years, but you could see a few of the people on your screen. I think this would be, again, another fun addition to the set. And next after that, there have been a few movie spinoffs. So I'm pretty sure we could get the rights to this if they already created an SNL set, because it's already going to be part of the SNL lore, and it's going to be the same people, i.e. Lorne Michaels, who you need to get approval from. So this should be pretty straightforward, but it'd be kind of fun to create some cards based off of the SNL movie spin-offs that have happened over the years. The next part, full just section devoted, an insert actually devoted to Lonely Island. They're really fun digital shorts. Obviously, Dick in a Box is iconic. You can see like this card would be tremendous. I mean, the fact that they were a winner of an Emmy, you could put that on the card as well, like I've done here. I think really, really fun set that you could produce here. And maybe you could turn it into some kind of hologram that you could see things changing, or make it a little bit more of an animated card almost. That'd be kind of fun too. Just an idea I had just now. Next, unforgettable moments. The Sinead O'Connor one, obviously memorable for a lot of reasons. Where you fall on the scale of it was memorable for good reasons or bad reasons, that's a debate for a different time and a different YouTube segment maybe. But there's no way to say that that was not unforgettable, right? You have, I think this was a result of someone swearing live on screen. This was Pete Davidson a week or two after he made fun of this guy for losing his eye. This one, Ashley Simpson, very famous lip syncing malfunction. Yeah, I think a lot of unforgettable moments that would be really fun cards to put together. And then the 5 Timers Club. I think this is an SSP. So there are a very, very few select number of people who have guest hosted on SNL 5 times or more. And you can see some of them on your screen. And I think the fact that they've hosted 5 times, one, suggests they're an A-list star, and B, suggests that they're really tied into the history of the show, and C, that they're just really good at hosting. For example, Tom Hanks. He's really good at just about everything, right? And so I think it'd be fun, like to get autos for these guys is going to be probably impossible. So maybe as a result, to get more attention to these cards or make them more interesting, you make them SSPs, really super short print cards. And that is one way you could do that. And then lastly, this set is just for me. Just give me a full set of Jimmy Fallon breaking character and all the different scenes that he's done where he's broken character. You could see this one is the Debbie Downer scene. He can't hold it together. More cowbell here. I don't even know what you call this, but this recurring scene is also really funny. And then this hot tub scene. Jimmy Fallon breaking character is one of my favorite things, and that idea is purely for me. So that is the idea for a Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary set. What do you think? Would this bring people into card collecting, into pop culture cards, and possibly grow the hobby as Fanatics is trying to do? Would love to hear your thoughts and comments. I had a lot of fun putting these cards or fake cards together. Mostly I did this because it was fun, but I thought I'd share this. Again, I would love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. Thank you, as always, for listening and watching. I will talk to you all soon. Cheers.